What if I told you you're not stuck because you're broken? You're stuck because your mind and body have been doing everything they can to protect you, using old patterns that no longer serve the woman you're becoming. But here's the truth. Those patterns can be rewritten. And today, we're going to begin that process together. Welcome to the Sacred Reset. I'm Sheridan Fisher, trauma-informed mind-body practitioner and coach and co-creator of the Integrated Transformation Method. This is the space where we stop putting band-aids on the pain and start healing at the root. If you're ready to stop coping and begin rebuilding from the inside out, you found your place. Today, we were diving into something that touches so many of us at our core, why we stay stuck in the same emotional patterns, and more importantly, how to finally break free. I'm here to guide you through this journey of true healing, self-discovery, and transformation. Let's begin by acknowledging what truly brings us here today, because it's rarely just curiosity. It's a calling from within. Perhaps you're feeling trapped in patterns that no longer serve you. You may find yourself drawn again and again into toxic relationships that drain your energy, dim your light, and leave you questioning your worth. Or maybe you're living with a relentless sense of burnout. No matter how much rest you try to get, how many boundaries you attempt to set, or how hard you work to keep it all together, that exhaustion lingers. It's a fatigue that sleep does not touch, a sign your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. You might be caught in a cycle of self-sabotage, making progress, only to find yourself pulled backward by old habits, fears, or beliefs you can't quite name. And despite your best efforts, years of therapy, courses, coaching programs, stacks of self-help books, you still feel like you're starting over again and again. And I want to honor this. Beneath it all, there might be that quiet, painful fear, the fear that maybe, just maybe, there's something broken inside of you, that maybe you're not strong enough to break free. But I want you to hear me clearly today. You are not broken. You have just been programmed, and what brings you here is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's your body, your soul, your spirit asking for a new path. And that's exactly what we're here to begin. I want you to know you are not alone in facing these challenges. In fact, these patterns you're struggling with are far more common than most of us realize. And here's the truth. They don't define your worth, your strength, or your potential. These cycles of self-sabotage, toxic relationships, burnout, or overwhelm, they aren't signs that you're broken or failing. They are simply learned patterns, habits of thought, emotion, and reaction that have become wired into your system over time. You see, the human brain is designed for efficiency. It loves to create shortcuts, neural pathways that help us respond quickly to familiar situations. And while that's helpful in many ways, it also means that when we experience emotional pain or trauma, the brain lays down tracks that can keep us stuck in those same survival responses long after the original event has passed. That's why certain situations can trigger the same emotional reactions over and over again, because your brain, your body, and your nervous system are doing what they believe is necessary to protect you. It's not random. It's not weakness. It's all connected. And the good news is this. Once we understand how these neural pathways and emotional patterns work, we can begin to gently, intentionally rewire them. That's where true healing begins, and that's the work we are here to do together. Our brains are incredibly efficient. They're wired to help us survive by creating shortcuts, or what we call neural pathways. These pathways are built from everything we've experienced, the good, the painful, and everything in between. So when something happens that stirs us emotionally, whether it's stress, fear, rejection, or overwhelm, our brain doesn't start from scratch. It immediately reaches for the familiar response, the well-worn path it's traveled before. That's why even when we know something isn't good for us or doesn't align with who we want to be, we still find ourselves falling back into those same habits. It's not that we lack willpower. It's that the brain is doing what it was designed to do. Choose the path of least resistance, the path that once helped us cope, even if it no longer serves us now. Think of it this way. If you've always reached for junk food during stressful moments, your brain wires that connection. Stress equals chips, cookies, comfort food. So the next time stress hits, without even thinking, your hand is in the bag of chips. It's not because you're weak. It's because your brain is running on autopilot, trying to help you feel safe in the fastest way it knows how. But here's the beautiful part. What's been wired in can be rewired. And that's where our work together begins, helping you create new pathways that honor your healing, your wholeness, and your truth. Let's take this deeper with a real life example you might recognize. Imagine you grew up in an environment where love always seemed to come with conditions. Maybe as a child, you learned that to receive affection, you had to be perfect, to get the grades, to stay quiet, to put everyone else's needs ahead of your own. And so, without even realizing it, you began to form this inner blueprint. Love equals self-sacrifice. Love equals performance. Love equals earning your worth. Fast forward into adulthood, and those old lessons don't just disappear. They show up in the way you relate, the way you love, the way you give. You might find yourself bending over backwards to please people, constantly overextending yourself to feel accepted. Or maybe you keep attracting relationships where your needs aren't met, where emotional support feels just out of reach, because that's the pattern your nervous system has come to expect. It's not because you want to suffer. It's because your subconscious, your inner wiring, is still playing the same record on repeat. It pulls you toward what's familiar, even if it hurts, because at some deep, unconscious level, familiar feels safer than the unknown. But here's the good news. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean you're bound to it forever. Together, we can help your nervous system, your mind, and your heart create a new blueprint, one where love doesn't have to be earned and where safety comes from truth, not performance. You might be wondering right now, if these patterns are so deeply wired into me, how could I ever break free from them? And I want you to hear this with your whole heart, because this is the hopeful, powerful truth. You absolutely can. Our brains are not fixed in stone. In fact, one of the most incredible things about being human is that our brains and our entire nervous system are designed to adapt. Science calls it neuroplasticity. It means that no matter your age, no matter how long you've been stuck in certain patterns, your brain has the remarkable ability to form new pathways, new connections, and new responses. But here's where it begins: awareness. It starts with noticing those moments when you fall into the familiar, when stress hits and you react automatically in a way that leaves you feeling empty, overwhelmed, or ashamed. And instead of judging yourself, you get curious. You ask, where is this really coming from? What is this reaction trying to protect me from? When you create that space between trigger and response, you open the door to something new. And that's exactly where trauma-informed tools like NLP, hypnotherapy, and mind-body coaching come in. They help you gently rewire those old patterns, shift the stories your subconscious has been clinging to, and create a path forward that's rooted in truth, strength, and choice, not survival. That's how transformation begins. Not by forcing yourself to change overnight, but by guiding your mind and body to remember that a brighter, freer way is possible. Through powerful modalities like NLP, hypnotherapy, and trauma-informed mind-body coaching, we're able to go beyond the surface and dive directly into the subconscious mind, that sacred space where so many of our old patterns quietly reside. It's like holding a treasure map to your inner world. Together, we can gently uncover and rewrite those limiting beliefs that have held you back, heal emotional wounds that still echo from the past, and forge new, empowering neural pathways. Think of it as updating your internal software. aligning your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with what your heart truly desires and values. One of the key tools we use in this process is called pattern interruption. This is all about recognizing when you're slipping into an old familiar response and consciously choosing a new one. Let's say vulnerability usually makes you pull away. What if just once you reached out instead? That simple act, scary as it might feel at first, starts to carve a new path in the brain. With each choice, you're literally rewiring yourself for growth, connection, and resilience. But it's not just about the behavior. To truly break free, we must explore the deeper emotional wounds that these patterns protect. These cycles often act like armor, shielding us from pain that once felt too big or too dangerous to face. Through trauma-informed coaching, we create a safe, compassionate space to gently unpack these layers, to process, release, and heal what has weighed you down for far too long. And when we bring hypnotherapy into the journey, we open the door to your subconscious in a profound way. In a state of deep relaxation, we can bypass that critical, analytical mind and work directly with the part of you that holds the old stories. Together, we reframe past experiences, plant new empowering beliefs, and vividly imagine the life you're ready to create. This is where shifts happen quickly, deeply, and with integrity. And let's be real, this is a journey, not a quick fix. True healing takes patience, practice, and above all, self-love. There will be times when you slip back into old habits, and that's okay. Every time you notice it, it's actually a victory, a moment of awareness and a chance to choose differently. Those moments, celebrate them. They're signs of growth. Self-compassion is essential on this path. Many of us have internalized the belief that we have to push ourselves hard to change, but research shows, and my work affirms, that kindness toward ourselves is what truly opens the door to lasting transformation. Think about how you treat a dear friend who was struggling. That same gentleness is what your inner self needs from you. Another powerful tool is mindfulness, the practice of observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By doing so, you create space between trigger and response, and in that space lies the power of conscious choice. Over time, mindfulness strengthens the very part of your brain responsible for decision making and emotional regulation, helping you break free from autopilot and step into authentic, empowered living. As we wrap up today's exploration, I want to remind you, you have the power to rewrite your story. Your past shaped you, yes, but it does not define you. With the right tools, support, and commitment to your growth, you can break free from these old patterns and create a life that truly reflects your soul's deepest desires. If you're ready to take that next step, I invite you to join me for a free 30-minute discovery call. Together, we'll explore your unique patterns, clarify your goals, and see if we're aligned to walk this path of transformation together. You can schedule your call by clicking the link below. Remember, you are not your patterns. You are a beautiful, evolving being filled with infinite potential for growth and change. Take that first step toward freedom today. I look forward to walking this journey with you. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, stay curious, and keep shining your light. You are capable of more than you know.